This podcast is brought to you by the National Animal Nutrition Program, sponsored by USDA Natural Resources Conservation Service.
Hello and welcome. I'm Avery, and with me is Zia. Today we're diving into something that every beef producer deals with, whether they realize it or not: the domino effect of feed management.
The domino effect. I like that. It's a great way to put it, Avery, because it really captures how one single, seemingly small decision on the ranch can, set off this huge chain reaction across the entire system.
Exactly. And it all starts with that very first domino. This is the initial decision a producer makes. It could be something like deciding to change the type of supplement you're using.
Right, or adjusting your grazing timing, maybe changing up that forage allocation.
Or even something bigger, like adopting some new precision technology for feeding or monitoring. That's the first domino to fall. It's that moment where, research and science meet the daily grind of management.
Okay, so that's the first domino. What's next in the line? What are those middle dominoes?
Well, the middle dominoes are the tools and technologies you use to actually implement that decision. Think about wearable tech for livestock, automated feeders, sensors out in the pasture, all that data analytics stuff.
That makes sense. It brings to mind the idea of a high data livestock industry. We're generating more data than ever before, but is that always a good thing?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? The amount of data we can collect is incredible, but the key isn't how much data you have, it's how you use it. Success in modern feed management really depends on how effectively that data is translated into biologically sound decisions.
Precisely. And here's the critical part. These tools don't replace the fundamentals of nutrition, they just amplify them.
That's a really important distinction. So if you make a good, data-driven decision, the technology makes it even more precise and effective.
You got it. But if the decision is based on a gut feeling or just business as usual,
Then the tech just helps you make that poor decision more efficiently. It amplifies the mistake.
exactly right. It can actually reduce your overall efficiency and productivity, which leads us to the final domino.
And I have a feeling this is the one that really hurts.
It can. The final domino represents the delayed and often the unintended consequences. These are the outcomes that show up way later.
Things like changes in your feed efficiency or the cost per pound of gain creeping up.
Yep, or even shifts in manure nutrient distribution across your pastures, which has huge implications for conservation and long-term soil health. And it's not just about the animals. It can be things like an increased data burden on your team or new labor challenges you didn't expect.
And the hardest part is that time delay. By the time you see these outcomes, it's so difficult to trace them back to that one decision you made months ago. You're left wondering where you went wrong.
Or worse, you don't even know there's a problem until it's a really big, expensive problem. And this is essential for folks working with the NRCS and even livestock producers themselves, where planning isn't just about immediate performance, but about those long-term system outcomes.
So with all these moving parts, where is the anchor? What's the one thing producers can really hold on to?
It comes back to the beginning. Feed management is the anchor point. Think about it. Animals always require feed. It's the first domino in almost any system. It's also the most controllable decision a producer has.
It's never just feed. It's the starting point for everything else.
That's the takeaway. It's a system that either rewards informed decisions or magnifies uninformed ones. This is why using tools like feed management nutrition models is so crucial.
And those models can help producers make that first domino fall in the right direction. We're talking about reducing waste, increasing gains, and lowering costs. The models don't just spit out an answer. They give you insight into what's driving the changes in your operation.
That's right. They help ensure the dominoes fall in your favor. By focusing on that first, most controllable decision, you can positively influence that entire chain reaction, leading to a more sustainable and profitable system in the long run.
It really brings everything full circle. That first decision about feed management truly is the first domino. It sets everything else in motion, and as we've discussed, those ripple effects can be felt across the entire operation for a long time. It underscores the importance of making sure that first decision is a well-informed one.
Wow, Avery, this has been such an informative discussion.
Absolutely, and such an important topic. Unfortunately, that is all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining me, Zia.
Thank you for having me, Avery. I look forward to our next episode.
This podcast was generated by Wondercraft and moderated by NANP.